welcome to another video of quality reptiles, and today I'm going to talk about shedding. With tegus, and especially red tegus, it's often a big problem. Tegus do not shed anymore, they get wounds on their tail and everything, and it mostly happens in winter, and there's a good reason for it mostly happens in winter, because in winter the temperatures get low, also in the houses, and people barely notice it, but in the enclosure it also gets a little bit more cold, and it's maybe the air temperature is still the same, but under the substrate it can be a lot more colder, because from the outside of the enclosure the temperature will from your living room will go into the enclosure, in the walls, in the floor, and that's where they are laying on the floor. Tegus, and especially red tegus, are very sensitive for this temperature change. A lot of people always think their tegus is in hibernation, but the real thing is that they are having troubles digesting food because of the lower temperatures. Especially at night, the temperature will drop because all the lights in your enclosure go off, and in the morning they have a lot of trouble heating up because they have a very big body, and to get into the middle of the body they need a lot of heat. So their organs are warm enough to digest food, and also to have vitamins out of the food to properly shed. When the tegus get really cold, they often also do not eat well. So people suggest or think that it's hibernation, but it kind of is hibernation, but this is because your temperatures are way too low. So if you don't want to have them in hibernation, then you should higher the temperatures. And if you really want to hibernate them, then you should make sure that the temperatures are right, because when the temperature goes under 23 degrees, it's not really a hibernation, but it's also not really good to be awake. This is really bad for their organs. So you have to decide, do you want to hibernate them or not? And if you have them too cold but not cold enough for hibernation, they get a lot of problems, like the shedding problems, not eating. So yeah, the main reason tegus do not shed is cold temperatures. So I always advise to have an air surrounding temperature of 25 to 30 degrees, and a hot spot at least 45 to 55 degrees. At nighttime, the temperature should be at least 23 degrees Celsius. If you go below, then they can still have shedding problems. Even if your day temperatures are fine, it's really important that the temperatures at night do not drop that low. What also can cause shedding problems is the wrong type of foods. So make sure that the food that you give has a lot of varieties. I made a video about food, and I told you I give kiezenbrink grounded meat. What is very important that in the diet there is always meat, organs and bones, and of course some fruits sometimes. But the organs are very important for vitamin D3, and the bones are very important for the calcium. And natural calcium and natural D3 is better than just powder form. Powder form, especially with D3, is really not good, and they do not absorb it. So it's very important that you have whole prey, and also from different types. So not only rats, not only mice, but also chicken and everything you can think of. Try to give as much variety as possible. This way you make sure that they get everything they need. With shedding problems because of food, often short on vitamin B complex is the biggest problem causing the shedding problem. So if you think it's not the temperature, you can always try to give vitamin B complex. In the past, I always advised to crush vitamin B pills, but nowadays you have from Arcadia, you have shed support vitamins, and there is also calcium and vitamin B in it. So that's really important. One of the things that can also cause a short on vitamin B is feeding too much fish. There are some types of fish and they break down vitamin B. So if you want to be sure that is not a problem, do not feed fish for a long time and see if that helps. Sometimes this can really help. I had a customer and he had shedding problems, and I gave him all kinds of tips and everything seemed well, and then he told me he fed some type of fish every week, and I said just quit giving those fish and see what happens, and within some weeks she started shedding really well. So this can always be a problem too. Substrate. A lot of people use bark or wood, little wood parts as a substrate. My opinion is it's really bad to use this because it's too dry, and they can also eat the substrate, and this can cause problems. So the best substrate is something like cocoa vibe or some earth soil that that can hold a lot more humidity. I personally have my own brand of soil. It's some mix of cocoa vibe, and there's also some vitamins in it when they eat it, that they do not get impacted, and also the soil is made dust free. So this can help a lot for the skin, for your tegu. Most of my tegus almost shed in one part, especially in summertime, because then it's really hot in here and the substrate is doing its work really well. You can see big parts are coming off. This is the whole tegu, it's almost like a snake getting out of its skin. You can see it's even some part of the legs are still on it. They almost shed in one, like a snake. You do not see this often, but since I use my own brand Substrate, it works really well. Unfortunately, I cannot sell it all over Europe because it's really expensive to ship. But people that are in the Netherlands or Belgium, I can send the Substrate to. So if all of these things do not work, or you just want to do something extra, I have a really good product. I do not earn any money on this. You cannot buy it with me, but you can buy it online on many websites. It's aloe vera propolis cream, and from Forever. That's the brand, and you especially need the Forever one, not another brand. Really, this brand. This is the only one that works really well, and you can put this on your tegu, and you can put it all over his body. It doesn't matter. It's not doing something with the eyes or something. It's really safe. You can use it on your dog, on yourself, and on them. It's really a safe product, and you can put it everywhere where they have the skin problem. They can still lay in the sun when they have it on their skin, and you only have to watch out with albinos. But with albinos, they whatever you put on their skin, it can cause sunburn. So always be very careful with albinos. But for all other types, you can use this. Very safe. And it worked wonders. I have recommended it to a lot of customers of mine, and I think 9 out of 10 times this helps really well. Sometimes it doesn't, but very often it really helps. And they shed bomb in one shed, while they didn't shed for maybe months or weeks, and had really big problems. So really good product. You probably noticed that my boy here is missing one paw. He had a fight with a girl once, and it wasn't that bad, but there was one hole in it, and it was really small, so he got an infection in his paw, and the vet said he would probably not make it. And then I told him, what if we take his paw, we cut his paw off, will this help him survive? And he said he would have a very big chance of surviving if he did that, but it was a really expensive surgery. And I said, just do it, I don't want to lose him. So yeah, he took off his paw, and the infection did not spread to the rest of his body, and he survived. And this happened like 5 years ago. So he's really doing well. And yeah, it doesn't look pretty. It's more shit for me than it is for him. But because he can still walk, he can still breathe, and he can still eat. He has no problem living without or with one paw less. So yeah, he's doing fine. So thank you for watching this video. Let me know in the comments what you think about this video. If you have any questions, and please like and subscribe, and see you in the next video.